Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew Santowski. I'm back with another UFC prediction video. This time, UFC Fight Night Song versus Figueiredo. This event goes down Saturday, May 30th, 2026. Prelims begin at 3 a.m. It's going down from Macau, China. So far, we got 10 fights. Let's get into it, guys. Pretty good card. So first up in the men's bantamweight division, Ireland versus Cody Hayden, or Hadan. Ireland, one fight winning streak, 32 years old, and we just seen him come off a win over Cody Gibson back in October. Very quick knockout. Lost to Raul Rosas before that, but again, man, he's lost to some of the better guys in the division. Cody Haddon, 6-fight winning streak, 27 years old. This is gonna be a good fight between two prospects, man. Coming off a win over Dan Argueta, but he hasn't fought since 2024, so wow. Beat Billy Brand on the Contender Series. So again, not exactly sure what's going on. I'm going to side with Cody Haddon, but again, it should be a really good fight, man, at the men's bantamweight division. Next up, women's strawweight division, Luma Lukbuni against Jacqueline Amarim, and both these women are coming off losses, I believe. Lukbuni coming off a loss to Alexa Theonaro. We know how good she is. We just seen her win as like a minus 900 favorite a couple weeks ago. Jacqueline Amarim, she's coming off a loss as well. 30 years old. Lost to Inoue, and she was a big favorite in that fight, I believe. Minus 490. So again, I'm going to side with Lukbuni. I mean, this is a striker versus grappler matchup, but again, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Rai Sarura against Jesus Aguilar, and we just seen Aguilar lose, I don't know, last month. I think he was on the Holloway card. 30 years old, coming off a loss, men's flyweight division, lost to Suman Darji. The reach was just too much. He couldn't get him down. But again, he has picked up some good wins in the UFC. Rai Sarua, I don't feel like we've seen this guy in a couple years, man. 23 years old, one fight losing streak. Lost to Joshua Van. No, in March of 2025. So, just over a year layoff for this guy. Again, no shame in losing to the current flyweight champion, but I'm going to side with Rai Sarua here. I think they're trying to get him a win. Yisak Lee against Luis Felipe Diaz. Again, I don't know anything about these guys. They are middleweight fighters here. Let's look at the records here. Diaz, 3-fight winning streak, 31 years old. He was on the Contender Series, has a lot of, has some submission wins, but some submission losses as well. Okay, nothing to Yisak Lee, 2-fight winning streak. Again, has not fought in the UFC or on the Contender Series. Man, I think I'm going to side with Diaz for right now, but again, I don't know. I just couldn't trust that pick, but pick will be Diaz. Muslim Selikhov against Jake Matthews. Again, two guys coming off losses, right? Selikhov just got brutally knocked out by Uros Medic. Jake Matthews, one fight losing streak, lost to Neil Magny, very bad. He was a huge favorite in that fight, minus 370. I'm going to side with Matthews here. I think he can pick up the win, but he's got to avoid getting knocked out by Selikhov, but I do think Matthews is probably the more well-rounded fighter, but again, hard to really trust that pick, but I'll take Matthews. Kai Asakura against Cameron Smotherman. Asakura moving up to bantamweight. Again, 2-fight losing streak. Lost to Tim Elliott and Alejandro Patoja. Hopefully this guy works on his takedown defense because that has been his kryptonite. Smotherman, 2-fight losing streak. Lost to Simone and CD. We know how good Simone is. No shame in that. But again, Asakura, can you really trust this guy? I'm going to pick him, but man, just I don't know how anybody could bet it. Alex Perez against Suman Darji. Suman Darji, again, coming off that win over Jesus Aguilar, who's also on this card. 3-fight winning streak. He's going to have Gonna have some nice reach here. Alex Perez. He's coming off a nice knockout or TKO win over Charles Johnson. Again, he's been a lot more active as of late. Lost to Almabayev back in November, but again, nice win over Charles Johnson. I'm going to side with Perez, but this should be a really good fight. Sergey Pavlovich against Taliesin Teixeira. Pavlovich is probably going to be a huge favorite here. I expect him to knock out Taliesin Teixeira, who's just looked like junk, man. Doesn't have a gas tank. Doesn't have a chin. Tuivasa could have got him out of there. Again, Derek Lewis kind of showed that he is kind of a taxi cab driver, man. Pavlovich, this guy, man, he's tough to beat, man. I mean, who has he lost to? Lost to Volkov, lost to Aspinall. He's lost to only the best. I'm going to side with Pavlovich here. Minying Zhang against Alonzo Menefield. Zhang, again, coming off a big upset loss to Johnny Walker, man. And Walker just had him hurt with those calf kicks and then punches. And I don't know, man. That was just a very letdown performance from him in China, last summer against Johnny Walker. But they're giving him a bounce back fight here in Alonzo Menefield. Menefield on a 1-fight losing streak, lost to Volkan Ozdemir. So again, this is a fight that Zhang should win. They're trying to bring him up. I'm going to pick Zhang here. Yadong Song against Davison Figueiredo. Man, the UFC they're not going to let Yadong Song lose a couple times in a row here, man. He's coming off that loss to O'Malley, lost 29-28. But again, he's in the top 10 at bantamweight. The UFC still has a Chinese prospect or a Chinese star here. He just can't get over that upper echelon hump, but he should pick up the win over Davison Figueiredo. This guy's been a lot more active at bantamweight. I could see this fight being a whole lot closer than what it should be. Davison's probably going to be a huge underdog. But again, you can never really count the guy out. He's got power. He just doesn't throw with a lot of volume. So again, Song should just be a little bit better everywhere. It'll probably just be a striking contest. Again, he lost to Umar, lost to Sandhagen, again, the guy just can't really, he just can't pick up any good wins at bantamweight, man. Again, he's not going back down to flyweight. He's 38 years old. He's in the twilight of his career. Yadong Song is 28 years old, so there's a 10-year age gap. Davison will actually have a 1-inch reach advantage. But again, I think Yadong Song should win. He's probably going to be a huge favorite, minus 400, minus 500. Again, I'm going to pick Yadong Song. So again, guys, my picks. Song, Zhang, Pavlovich, Perez, Asakura, Matthews, Diaz, Sayura, Luke Booney, and Haddon.